Hey, Rembo here. Welcome to my channel. Today is not actually going to be about motorcycles. It's going to indirectly be about motorcycles, but it's going to be about that KTM over there that I take to the track. It's actually not going to be about this right here, this Ducati Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak. So I got rid of my SUV because I got this crazy amount of money for it from CarMax. And since I don't really need a vehicle all the time because I have a company car, I went and leased a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. This way I have an easier way to getting to and from the track with the KTM. I don't think I'm going to have the testicles to put this thing in and out of it just yet. We'll see. I have a ramp coming. So anyway, so today I'm going to install the bed extender for the Toyota Tacoma, and it's the OEM one. It's pretty simple, but let's take a look at it. Okay, so this is the bed extender. I don't have it together yet, but this is just a really simple piece that's going to go in the back of the Toyota Tacoma. Now, this is the OEM Toyota brand. I picked it up from another dealer out of state, way cheaper than getting it here in Florida. And listen, some of the people have been commenting and asking me and sending me DMs here. This flooring is Swiss Tracks, okay? Super easy to install. I put this whole thing in like 2 hours by myself about, I don't know, not quite 2 years ago. Piece of cake. Really love this floor. It's called Swiss Tracks. Just look it up yourself. There's other brands out there. But let's get moving and show you how simple it is to put this thing in the Toyota Tacoma. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the rear taillight, and you're going, hey, wait a minute. It's really easy. It's literally 4 bolts, okay? And then you can just let it hang. It's not going to stress the wires or anything. There's these 2 parts right here that it fits into. You got to pull out with these little plugs right there, those little stabbers, okay? And other than that, it's literally just, I'll show you on this side. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. You take these 4 out. They're 10 millimeter, if that'll ever focus. You take those out and they come out. Let's do that first. As far as mounting it on the truck, these are all the parts you're going to need. I like these little magnetic things that keep them from sliding off. Got the 2 brackets. This is for another part of it. And the reason why we have to take these lights out is because right here we have to drill 3 holes on either side. Okay, drill 3 holes, and once you get them, they're going to have nuts that we're going to have to access from the other side. And then, of course, don't forget your Loctite. We'll talk about that later. But that is why you have to pull those rear taillights out. To make things easy, there is a template for you on the very last page. I'm going to tear this page off, fold it, and we're going to mark it, and it even shows you exactly which way the bracket faces and exactly where it's going on the tailgate. Oh, and there's 1 for each side. I forgot to tell you that, okay? 1 for each side because they have to face the opposite direction right here. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna be using a center punch, all right, to help me start the drill. If you notice, okay, this is facing this way and I'm folding it. It says front of the truck. So when I go out there like this, I can let this right against the left side of the post. This will be facing the rear of the truck, all right? Just throwing that in there. You'll see when we get out there. Okay, so this side should look something just like this. It just barely touches the bottom, even with this post, and now you could start punching your holes. All right, if you can see those are where we're gonna drill. We'll talk about that next. Let's get the other side lined up. And I'm gonna repeat it on this side with this other piece facing the front along the edge, because the open end always faces the back. See that? The open end of the bracket faces the back. Then if you want to double check, it's supposed to be 38 millimeters from the edge or about 1.5 inches. It's both. It's close enough. It'll work. All right, that's just a verification. All right, now it wants a 6 millimeter hole. So what I'm going to do is 6 millimeters is pretty close to 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go with 7/32, which will be slightly smaller. If it's too small, we'll see. I can just ream it out a little bit. But 6 millimeters should be about 7/32. Let's give it a try. And the 7/32 will work because it fits in there literally perfectly. All right, now for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in so I can finish it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run down to Home Depot or somewhere, and I gotta get some sealant here. I don't like leaving this exposed like this. So I'm gonna get some sort of a sealant to protect that, especially since I live in South Florida near the ocean. Now, once you get this in, do not tighten it down yet, okay? You'll see, I don't know if you can see in there, it's so friggin' bright out today. But anyway, in there is where the bolts are. Go ahead and just don't tighten them down. Now, although this has a locking nut, what I call we call these whiz nuts in the Marines, we call these whiz nuts. Although it has a whiz nut, I'm gonna highly recommend that you go ahead and put on some blue Loctite. Not red, just blue, because you'll probably be taking it off at some point. All right, then go ahead, once you get the sealant in, and get 3 millimeters right there, 3 millimeter hex heads to go ahead and tighten these down. As tight as you want to make them without stripping it out. Now remember that every truck could be a little bit different, and these are going to slide in here and they're going to give you enough space that if you need to, you can make it a little wider or a little narrower. So we're going to go ahead and get this fitted, and then there's these little pinch brackets that go in here to hold these together. That'll be next. So just remember, you got to kind of leave things loose until you're all set. Oh yeah, and before you do that, it's okay to start popping these things back in again and tightening down those 10 millimeters. So I gotta be honest with you guys, so far the biggest pain in the ass is gonna be getting these 3 tubes in and getting them aligned, and then getting that stupid little brackets in here that are plastic, which I'm not thrilled about, but it is what it is. All right, let's continue. All right, we're not quite done. So what I did was, you pick this up at an angle and you drop it in the first time, okay? You pick it up at an angle and you kind of drop it in, and you can see because there's a flat spot on the edge the first time you get in there. And then once I did that, I still have these completely loose. I didn't put any of the wedges in. Now I'm gonna set it up, because at least now I know that I have the right length. So I'm doing this I'm doing it my own way. I'm not really following the directions. So you know how you have the thick wedges and the thin wedges? The thin wedges will be on the inside and the inside. The thick wedges will be on the outside. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thin wedges, and then 1, 2, 3 on the outside is where the thick wedges will be. And that kind of sucks, because now you can't like put a drill in there to, you gotta tighten it by hand. Oh, woe was me. But anyway, let's put these in. So once you put the thin side in, it's gonna look like this. That's when you're gonna add your screw that takes a number 20 Torx, number 20 Torx. And just for some attention to detail here, see how these are both tapered? They're gonna pull in. So when you first put them in, they're gonna be sticking out on each side. I just draw them up so I know that I didn't over torque them. As soon as both sides were flush, I'm done, all right? If they're flush, I'm done. It's plastic. I'm sure you can get more of these if they fall out. And if you think you're done, you're not quite done, because it's gonna be how you use this thing. So you're gonna have to clip this. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And clip both sides, all right, right into here to keep this thing from lifting up. Let's do it. Well, you can see that little thing there. You just put it right in this spot, right there, and just push down, and it clips in place. You're saying, how do I release it? Well, just open up the gate, like you're opening up the gate, and then we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down so that we don't have any slack in it. And voila, you are, well, you're almost done. This keeps it from popping up and flying off. It's not gonna be perfect, but it keeps it down. And when you're not using this and you release it, right, go ahead and grab and release it, all right? Then we'll show you what you do when you flip it the other direction. When you're not using it, just gonna flip it the other direction. It's got the feet, but you don't want these things rattling around, do you? Well, let's take care of that. So what's supposed to happen here is that this thing wraps around twice. Each time you slide it underneath this piece right here. When you're done, it'll look like that. Now I'll show you, but I only have one hand. I can't videotape it, so let me do it and show you the end result again on this side once we wrap it around. There is the first time. So there we go, and that's supposed to keep these things from rattling around. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know, we'll see. If you have any experience with this, let me know. I'm probably gonna end up tie strapping them up every time or something. And now you are finally done, even though it's windy out. And if you have groceries and stuff, it even works in reverse this way. Anyway, this is it. This is Rembo. Please like, please subscribe. I know this isn't motorcycles, but it has to do with me getting my motorcycle back here with this bed extender. Rembo out. Bye-bye.